The biggest problem that men have with attraction is trying to impress a woman, trying too hard, which I know is crazy because you want to do and need to do something because she's not coming to you and she's not approaching you. So what's the fine line between actually impressing her without trying? But I hate using the word impress. Let's just talk about the word attraction. How do we attract her like a magnet instead of trying to impress her? Well, there's a few tweaks that you can actually change, and they're really small little changes that are going to make the biggest difference in terms of how women see you. Now, there's a million of these, but today I picked the 5 most important ones with examples that you can do today. And once you nail these down, you're going to get bigger results with women in dating because they're actually going to notice you. Okay, number 1, I call this speaking in stories, not just statements. So if you've been watching the channel for a while, you know that it's all about not being in interview mode and making more statements. Well, that's level 1. Now let's tweak that to the next level. So instead of just making statements, and of course not just asking a bunch of questions, how can we use stories to our advantage? And don't worry. This does not mean that you have to be an amazing storyteller. It just means that we're going to tell a story in general rather than making a statement. Okay, you're probably wondering, how do you do this? So let me give you a few examples. So instead of saying a statement such as, I play guitar, you can say, I always loved Led Zeppelin and I taught myself how to play the guitar when I was a junior in high school and I just never stopped. Now, that could be true to you. Of course, you have to think about how you can connect something that you would say as a statement to a story. So just think about this. Use this as an exercise. I'll give you a few more examples, but I want you to learn actually how to do this, right? Think about something about you that you like, that you dislike, that you're interested in, or a hobby, or your job. Just think about the things that make you you. There is 100% a story behind it. Again, it doesn't have to be super interesting, but a reason behind why you do what you do or don't do what you do. Okay, I'll give you some more examples. Instead of saying, I've been to Italy, you could say, I went to Italy about 8 summers ago with this girl that I was dating, and it was an amazing trip. Unfortunately, we broke up a few months after, but at least we had one of the best pizzas that I've ever had in my life. That actually is a true story. Not the guitar one, but the Italy one. So think about what it is that are the stories. Here's more examples. Instead of saying, I like cooking, you can say, I really enjoy cooking, and so I decided to find a recipe that would be similar to a Michelin star recipe, and I used ChatGPT to find an easy recipe that still tasted like you were going to this amazing meal. And in fact, they ended up giving me a crazy recipe, yada, yada, yada. You can keep on telling the whole story. Again, think about how it connects to you. Here's another example. Instead of saying, I work in finance, maybe you can tell a story of why you got into it or how you got into it. And I should mention, these stories don't need to be long. It can be as short as a few sentences. It can be as long as maybe there is a very interesting story behind why you got into finance, why you like it, what made you start that. Or maybe you don't like it now and you're moving on to something else. So then you'll tell why you don't like it. This is about expanding on the things that make you you. All right, let's go to number 2. Again, we're talking about small tweaks that are going to make women notice you more than the other guy. Number 2 is not over-explaining yourself. There's something very beta, very weak about over-explaining why you do things that you do. Now, I want to be clear, this is not about the stories one that we said before. I'll give you some examples and you'll get an idea here of what I mean when we're talking about over-explaining yourself. The reason why we don't want to do that is because we want to build more mystery. The more mystery we build, the more she's going to want to know about you, and it sort of seduces her in a little bit. So for example, maybe you don't drink. So you might say, I don't drink because I get migraines, or I'm trying to lose weight, or I had a problem back in the day with drinking. No, you don't have to say that. Just say, I don't drink. Now, if she asks you why, that's a different story. Then you can say something. Again, I wouldn't go into this long over-explanation, but the whole point is to practice just saying some things without having to explain yourself. So again, the difference between this and saying something about stories of yourself is You'll notice when there's something you want to over-explain because you might feel like it's wrong. Like, oh, I don't drink. I have to explain myself about why I don't do that. Or maybe there's a show you don't like. She asks you if you watch a show. You say, oh, no, don't like that show. She might ask why. That's fine. You might answer. But you don't need to over-explain yourself. You just don't like it. So another example could be, maybe why you're an entrepreneur. Like, oh, I'm an entrepreneur because, I don't like the 9-to-5 grind and I want to do my own thing. No. Build some more mystery. Okay, build some more mystery. Instead, you can just say, yeah, I'm an entrepreneur. I just like doing my own thing. Those are some examples. Just think about times when you feel the need to explain yourself. Not about telling stories. But you feel this insecurity need to explain yourself. Don't do it. Watch what happens. Let's go to number 3. Stop reacting to her tests. Stop overreacting to the things she says when she teases you. Okay, why do we not want to do this? That's because you want to remain less emotional. The more emotional and reactive you are, the more she's going to think that you're a little bit weak. I know that sounds crazy and sounds intense, but trust me, women don't like to see that weakness. Let me give you an example. She might say, you're probably a player, aren't you? Or call you out for being really smooth. Are you going to start saying, oh no, I'm not a player, or oh no, you shouldn't see me like that, or no, I treat women so great, or no, I'm a relationship guy? No, stop explaining yourself. Stop reacting so harshly to her teasing you like that. Instead, do this. You'd be surprised. Just like that. You'd be surprised. She's not going to know what to make of it. And by the way, secretly, women kind of do like to know that you're a little bit of a player. But anyway, she might not say that. She might say this. Wow, you seem like a very overconfident dude. Maybe she's calling you out on being too confident or too smooth. You could say, yeah, I try. Period. Boom, just like that. Yeah, I try. We're not reacting to what she's saying. She might say, oh, you probably say that to all the girls. You could tease her back. You can say something like, yeah, I do. In fact, you're the third one today. See how you're delivering that in a more confident tone, not making any sort of excuses. If she rolls her eyes at something you say, this is a common one, you could say, yeah, you totally love that one, I know it. Calling her out on that. You're kind of playfully biting back at her. So again, when any time that she's teasing you or making fun of you, as a joke, she's flirting with you, you can flirt back. Keep it simple and don't try to get overly emotional. Let's go to number 4. Qualify her. Gentlemen, I don't talk about this enough on the channel. Qualify her. This is important because you should always be qualifying to make sure she's someone that you want to be with, but also the act of qualifying lets her know that you're not going to be with just any girl. So we want to qualify. Here's some examples. You could say, tell me something about you that would actually impress me. This is a funny, teasy qualifier, but you're just trying to get to know her. You actually are saying to her in this way, and we'll give more examples in a second, try to impress me because I'm looking for more than just your physical attributes. Not literally going to say that, but that's what you're communicating to her. You can ask her questions like, so are you more adventurous and spontaneous, or are you more of a homebody? So what's your passion? Or are you one of those girls who's just kind of bouncing around trying to figure that out? You could say, tell me something awesome that you did in the last year. You can say, tell me some of your goals. I like women who have goals. You can even say that to her. You could say, I like women who blank. Say it. See what happens. See how they react to that. It lets her know that you're not desperate. Before I get to number 5, which is really, really key here, I have lots of examples of how to flirt, how to attract women with my TED formula. If you go to getherhooked.com, I'll put a link in the description down below. You'll be able to get my course where you can go through 8 to 10 hours of explaining everything step by step of how to get more dates, how to attract women, how to get out of the friend zone and get out of your shell so you can attract more women, step-by-step process. Check that out, description down below. Let's get to number 5. And this is all about not showing verbal interest, instead showing interest physically and with your actions. Okay, so what do I mean? I mean, let's stay away from the compliments. Let's stay away from telling her how much you like her. Let's stay away from any sort of verbal interest. I know a lot of guys are really prone to do it. They do it a lot, especially when they like somebody, and it doesn't always come off the best. It can come off too try hard. So what do you do instead? I'll make it so simple for you. Instead, we just ask her out. We take actions. That's what's going to show her. We're not going to text her how much we like her. Okay, instead, we're going to text her, what are you doing next week? When are you free? I want to take you out. Instead, you're going to move things forward physically with her and go for the kiss. You're going to spend time with her. You're going to take the action steps to spend time with her. That is more powerful than just vomiting verbal diarrhea about how much you like her. Tell me below which one of these you're going to try out, and I want you to know that it just takes one step at a time. So don't worry about getting overwhelmed here. Pick one of these, use it, see how it works.